Telusphorus.
This character, this thing. I never expected it to be what it is.
I got it. That's it. I got it.
Then the line that ended my 2021 acting career. Telusphorus was never seen again. Question number 1. Who is Telusphorus?
Well, Telusphorus is this character that a bunch of us created because we had a little bit of some time to put together a film about whatever we wanted to. And after we kind of sat and brainstormed a little bit about what we wanted to do for our film, we went to a name generator website and we came up with the name Telusphorus, and then within a little bit of time we ended up kind of figuring out, okay, well, what is Telusphorus? What makes him what he is?
Telusphorus is not so much a who as a what. He's this character that we created. He is a psychopath. He's got some weird features to him.
Telusphorus is just a very unusual psychopathic man.
Alright, so for me, I think Telusphorus is a really cool and interesting character. I also think that he's crazy, and obviously, like you saw in the film.
He talks in this, when we created him and when I started to think of how to portray him, in my head I pictured this calm sort of character. He had a calm voice and his movements were slower and almost calm to the point where it was unsettling. And I think when I portrayed it, I scared myself in how close I got to what I was picturing in my head.
I think over time, he's kind of become like a second personality to you, and a bit to me too. Maybe there's a little bit of Telusphorus in all of us.
I think Telusphorus is in a way, something that lets you take out some idea, something that's not only on your mind, but at the beginning it was something in everyone, because we made this based on little ideas from everyone, right? So, but as the character evolved and you adopted it more into you, I think Telusphorus is a part of you in a way, right? That we built together, but then you just took it and blended it so well. I don't really know how to describe it.
Well, I mean, he seems like a fairly quiet person, but he's also, a crazy psychopathic killer.
But I think that Telusphorus is definitely a different, interesting character.
He's unsettling. He's this creature. He's difficult to explain. Question number 2. What was the process of creating this character and the film?
It was a very, very fun process. We definitely had some obstacles along the way, but we definitely overcame those.
Well, it was after Mr. Walker was gone and Mr. L came for the first time, and I think it was the first day he was there. We got in our groups and we were planning for our first film to do, actual film.
So for the first film, it was a project for our class, and we had free reign to do whatever we wanted. And somehow we got to the conclusion of doing an interview, and then we got to the conclusion we wanted to do something in horror, and then we said let's add a psychopath. Let's interview a psychopath.
Wow, okay, well, first off, I knew that there just had to be, like, some sort of psychopathic character, and I happen to be in psychology class right now, so I was able to help, like, develop the characteristics of Telesphorus.
Well, the process was a little bit kind of all over the place. We didn't have that much time to kind of really sit down and nitpick everything and make sure that everything was going to go according to plan. But like I said before, we kind of just decided, okay, we're gonna do like a little bit of a talk show, and then we kind of, like I said before, we kind of went to like a name generator website, and we kind of picked out a bunch of names, and then it was just kind of like, okay, what does this name sound like? What does this name feel like? And
Well, I think we had to do like this project, and we didn't know what characters to do, so we thought of doing like a talk show, but everything goes wrong, right? And then we came up with the idea of making it with a sort of psychopath that makes everything around him go wrong. Has like this weird energy that makes everything just not work.
I think that, yeah, your name came through like a name generator, I remember. So it wasn't exactly, it didn't come like naturally. It was a bit of a difficult process coming up with the names. But, at the time we had like no clue what the name would like turn out to be.
And then it was just kind of like, we decided that Telesphorus was going to be on a talk show, and he was going to sell some software, and it was going to go horribly wrong. And then things started to end up going horribly wrong, and our audio kind of messed up, and some of the editing and stuff like that. So.
And then we went to, okay, what are we interviewing? It's like, what are we interviewing him about? And I forget who it was. It might have been me that said, let's say he created something, like a software or something. And then we got to the point where he created this safety software, which is kind of weird because why would the psychopath create the safety software? And along with him, he brings these unfortunate things that happen. For instance, a box falls on him, the mic falls on him, and then during the actual filming of it, the audio actually cut out.
Overall, the process was very fun, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Overall, I think that it wasn't really necessarily an easy process to make the film, but it was our first, so that's okay.
It was a surprisingly fun process, and creating the character was also a lot of fun.
Question number 3. What do you think of Telesphorus?
I'm scared of Telusphorus. No, I think it's a good character. I think it got a lot of, I don't want to like repeat my words, but I think it got a lot of character. I think it grew as an actor with you. I think it also took over a bit.
If I'm being honest, I'm not too thrilled about him, considering you did kill me in our film.
I think Telesphorus is quite an interesting character for the most part. I mean, like, it is a very unsettling and kind of creepy character, but, with some of the scenes that we did and some of the settings that things were placed in, I feel like the vibe that he gave off was pretty good, and it kind of helped shape things the way they were.
And like, as the title implies, he distorts the atmosphere. I actually came up with that title. Yeah, really that's it. Like, his presence just brings discomfort to everyone.
I think Telesphorus is a very unique character. The thing I really like about him is I definitely like how Spencer portrayed it. I like how you portrayed it. And I definitely like the cane, and I like the voice of Telesphorus, and I definitely like the outfit.
What do I think of Telesphorus? Telesphorus, he scares me. And it's weird to say that he scares me because he's something that I not necessarily created. We all created him, but I portrayed him. I took the idea and turned it into something concrete and real. And it's weird to say that something that I am, that I did, scares myself.
He is, I do find that he can be kind of hilarious at times with how just like absurd he is in his different mannerisms. Like in Ott's film, that your little cameo in that, I thought that was just hilarious. Just the way you just started like walking really fast.
I don't know. Telusphorus is. It's a weird feeling, right? Because I want it to end. I don't want you to do more of that. But if you do more of that and it's in like a professional, actual professional context, then I wouldn't mind it, of course.
But it was just this character that when I looked at it, when I thought about it, it wasn't me. It was this exact replica of what I had in my head of this psychopath character. And when I had this idea, it kind of made me unsettled and all that. And then once I portrayed it almost exactly how I thought of it, it was a little weird.
Question number 4. If you could go back to when you were making the first film, what would you do differently?
Okay, personally, the green screen in the background really bothered me because we didn't end up doing anything with it. Like, we didn't, like, edit anything back there, and so it was just, like, this neon green in the background, and I thought it looked really ugly, so I wish we could have changed that. Also, personally, I think I could have done better as Walter Diodorus.
Knowing what I know now, I don't think we planned it out, and we didn't have a lot of time. Like, we were cutting it short on filming. I'd go back and I'd plan it out a lot better.
So for me, what I would have probably done differently is maybe add some more music for more suspense. But I definitely think overall the film was amazing, and I wouldn't have done anything differently but the music.
Again, I think I'd check the sound a lot. I'd get to know what we were using. Like, I'd get to know the microphones, I'd get to know the cameras, so I knew more about how to do it.
There's quite a few things I would do differently, but I think the most important thing is organization of our roles and our ideas for different scenes, different ideas of the films, all sorts of things there. That's definitely the main area that I would change.
Oh my god, I would check the audio 40 times more. Yeah. Because, like, I was the audio guy in the film, like, my character, which actually never made it in the thing. I love it. My lines never made it. And I was, like, the audio guy in the character, but I was also the audio guy in the actual production. So that's kind of funny. And everything just went wrong. I don't know how we managed to have, like, the worst audio we could. And, like, we had to recheck that again because, oh my god. We could have made it so much, like, better if we had the proper audio. And we knew, like, how to use the proper gear the first time and everything.
I feel like I would definitely give us more time for filming, because that was basically, we got the project on like the Tuesday and it was like Thursday, you have to be, like, has to be ready and all that. So definitely giving us more time, and I feel like having enough time to kind of plan it out and decide, you know, each person is going to have their own job instead of it everybody kind of like, oh well, I want to do this, and like everybody I think needed to kind of have their own respected job, and you stick to that instead of jumping over and mixing up with other people.
Overall, through the acting aspect and the characters and the actual storyline, I don't think I'd change anything. I mean, we're in grade 11. It's surprisingly good for what we did. It was surprisingly good. So I wouldn't change much other than the fact that, I wouldn't change the storyline of the movie. I'd just change the behind the scenes kind of stuff, like the video and the audio and that.
Question number 5. If, and only if, you could make a fourth movie, what would it be?
I think probably like an origin story to Telusphorus, like maybe in his child years or his teenage years, like his coming of age sort of years. Like you could ask different questions of like what made him different than others, like what caused him to break, that sort of thing. Because we did his prime years in his killing his killing times, and then his final moments before being brutally murdered by Heather. So yeah.
A biography on Telusphorus.
Prequel. Like tell us for like how he was made, but in the context of the story, like not this interview that's like the behind the scenes, more like what happened to Telusphorus as a kid. Maybe take on a little bit of the psychology behind it, why he turned into this, all of that. I think that would be cool. Having a different actor, young Telusphorus, that would be also nice.
For me, I think it'd be really cool if Telesphorus had like a great great grandchild or something. You could do something with that. I think that would be a cool fourth movie that a lot of people would like to watch.
I feel like I'd want to see something about Telesphorus as a child and kind of like where he came from and, you know, what was his childhood, his upbringing like? What happened between, you know, birth to being an adult that made him kind of become the way he was? Or was he always like this?
If I could make a fourth movie, I would probably, I don't think, I doubt I will ever bring him back. I don't think I'll bring the character back. I think he's dead and he's gone for good. But something interesting that we could do with him is give a backstory, like create a backstory for him, go back in time to when he was younger, something like that. Why, tell the story of why he's a psychopath, how he got to this point in his life, or maybe he has children or something, and they continue on this psychopath legacy, something like that.
Question number 6. If you could describe Telesphorus in one word, what word would that be?
Psychopath.
Psychopathic.
Psychopath.
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 Psychopath. Telesphorus was a very interesting character to portray, but he is dead, and he will never come back. He is dead.